Bring your palms together at the heart center inwards. When you feel steady and comfortable, gently touch. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् परमानन्दमाधवम्. Gently bow your head down. Bring yourself to the class. Prepare yourself for the session. When you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes. Namo Namo. Sandeep ji, hope we are recording the class. Yes. Where did we stop in the previous verse? We finished the page?
We finished the 14th verse, Guruji.
Yes. Today we will just read the 15th. Yes. 15th verse. Now names of different conch shells will be discussed. Also, here it is notable that when the conch shells were discussed with the Kaurava army, they all were blown together. Where did we see that?
Verse 12.
15th verse.
12th verse and 13th verse. So
13th.
connect 13th with the 15th verse, because 13th verse separately is not mentioned together, and 15th verse, how is the blowing of the conch shell separately mentioned, thereby showing us that the ones who are fearful or in a state of anxiety, everybody is blowing the conch shell together. And in the Pandava army, because they are steady and still, one by one in the same order of hierarchy which is discussed, they are blowing the conch shell. Make a mental note of this change. We chant. Panchajanyam ऋषिकेशो Devadattam Dhananjayah Paundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrukodarah Panchajanyam Rishikesha. Conch shell name Panchajanya. Whose conch shell? Bhagwan Krishna. So Rishikesha is name also for Rishika Isha iti Rishikesha, the one who is the controller of the senses. two terms similar. Rishikesha for Bhagwan Krishna and Gudakesha for Arjuna will be used. Gudakesha. Gudakesha will mean very thick curly hair. Gudakesha will be used again and again for Arjuna, and Rishikesha will be used again and again for Bhagwan Krishna. So Panchajanya, Rishikesha. So we see conch shell named Panchajanya by Bhagwan Krishna, who directs the senses of devotees. Then Devadattam by Dhananjaya, also the Arjuna, the winner of wealth. Poundram Dadmau Mahashankha, who the conch shell named Poundram, Bhima. And how is Bhima called? Vrukodara. Vrukodara, one who has a very big belly. That means fond of eating. So Bhima Karma Vrukodara has been discussed. So we see then after their side, Bhagwan Krishna blew his conch shell called the Panchajanya. Arjuna respectively his, the Devadatta. And then Bhima, the voracious eater. He also blew his conch shell. It was terrific. How was the sound? Very, very terrific. Let's see. Next verses also. We will take 16, 17, 18 together. Ananta Vijayam Raja
Ananta Vijayam Raja
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha
Nakulaha Sahadevascha
Nakulaha Sahadevascha
Sughoshamani Pushpakau
Sughoshamani Pushpakau
Pushpakau
Kashyascha Parameshwasaha
Kashyascha
Kasyascha
Parameshwasa
Shikhandi cha Maharathaha
Shikhandi cha Maharatha
Drishtadyumno Viratascha
Drishtadyumno Viratascha
Satyakischa Parajitaha
Satyakisha Parajitaha
Drupado Draupadeyascha
Drupado
Drupado
Draupadeyascha
Draupadeyascha
Sarvashaha Prithivipate
Sarvashaha Prithvipate
Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu
Saubhadrascha Mahabahu
Shankhan Dadmuhu Pruthak Pruthak.
Prathak
Now 15 to 18 we will chant all together, okay? Like last time. Panchajanyam Rushikesho Devadattam Dhananjayaha Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha Ananta Vijayam Raja Kuntiputro Yudhishthiraha Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sughoshamani Pushpakau Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharathaha Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहु शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्. Yes. Then after then what happened? King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, is discussed. And how is discussed? Anantam Vijayam Raja Kunti Putra Yudhishthira. See the Visheshana. See how beautifully he is described. Ananta Vijayam. Victorious many times. Raja. And because mother has raised such a son, so Kunti Putra and Yudhishthira. Yudhisthira iti Yudhishthira. Yudhi, war. One who is steady and very calm and composed in the war or difficult times is Yudhisthira. Yudhishthira. So he is very beautifully introduced here. Nakulaha Sahadevascha Sugosha Mani Pushpakau and their respective conchs. And who else? Kashyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandicha Maharatha Drushtadhyumno Viratascha Satyakisha Parajitaha. So King Yudhishthira, son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, which was Ananta Vijaya. Nakula and Sahadev, they also blew the Shughosha Mani Pushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, also along with Shikhandi, Drushtadhyumna, Virata and Satyaki, the one who could not be conquered, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi from her husbands, and the other kings, everybody such as the son of Subhadra, also greatly armed, all blew their conch shells respectively, respective in order, thereby showing very much steadiness, even in very, very difficult time, says the verse. And who was there also? Grandson, Abhimanyu. Subhadra has been discussed. So even grandsons, such very, very young children were also part of the war and very, very confident. All of them were armed. Now, we see here the name of the general of the Pandava army. Who was the general? Pandava army.
Yes. Krishna.
Pandava army with Arjuna. Drushtadhyumna. Drushtadhyumna is mentioned. Bhishma for the Kaurava army. Drushtadhyumna for the Pandava army. So it is very important here, Drushtadhyumna and his father is Drupad is also here. So there is a rivalry between whom? The Raja Drupada and Dronacharya. Therefore he says Drupada Putrena Tavashishena Dhimata. That Drupada Putra you have to connect with this verse, where he says goes to Dronacharya. Who goes? Duryodhana. And what does he say?
That your student.
Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahtim Chamu Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tavashishena Dhimata. Drupada Putra Tavashishya Dhimata. Observe, and this who? Drupada Putra Drushtadhyumna to 17th verse. So we see that there was a rivalry between both. And that is what Duryodhana points out when he goes to the teacher. Dronacharya and Drupada. Why there was rivalry? Because both studied in the same Gurukul, from the same teacher. And Dronacharya, even after being a Brahmin, he was very skilled in warfare. And Drupada, being a king, already a prince when they were young, not very skilled in warfare. So most of the teaching, even for Drupada, as a friend, had come from Dronacharya in their childhood. So they were very good friends. and just out of help, because we see in Brahmins, when you are a teacher also, you are a Brahmin, what happens? Your life is on donations. Anybody you teach also, you are at their mercy. Whenever they will pay you, that is the time. You will, whenever your dakshina is given, then you can plan. You cannot decide or you cannot ask anybody to give any dakshina. So same happens for Dronacharya. Even though he was a acharya, what happened? He was suffering also great poverty at home. And one such times, there was no milk in the house. So for Drishtadyumna, what does he do? He uses the wheat flour with water, because there is no milk for the child to drink. And in that moment, his wife reminds him. She says that when you were in Gurukul, the king Drupada had promised you that he would give you half of his kingdom. Because you had helped him, he said, you're such a great fighter, you're also a great teacher, you're a Brahmin. So you can help me manage my kingdom. So it's time, let us go and pay a visit and also help your friend be reminded. So Dronacharya refuses. He says, no, 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 for a long time. But finally, owing to grief, poverty at home, in every way, the challenges that they are facing, they arrive at the palace of Drupada. Now, for the first time, Drishtadyumna tastes milk, real milk. And he, in the palace, because the child gets milk to drink, and he cries that I will not accept, I want the same milk every time with me. It's time for them to leave. So the wife looks at him for one last time, Dronacharya. And that's when he just says, with a lot of hesitation, he puts forth. He says that if you recall our days of Gurukul, you had said that you would help give me the half of your kingdom to manage, to take care of it. I don't ask for that, but I just ask our friendship to stay stronger, and my child to have a cow or something that will be beneficial for him to drink. So in a very in a very casual way, leaving behind the emotion and forgetting the long years in the Gurukul, King Drupada laughs out loud. He says, what you are taking the discussion of childhood very seriously, that is over, that is gone now. I am the king. Yes, yes, I have many cows. You can take one of those. I don't have any problem. So you can just take any of the cows, and he dismisses him. Now Dronacharya is deeply hurt from within, because it is his aham. See, very important to remember, in the Brahmins, because there is knowledge, you are always living beyond your material capacity, because it will add to arrogance, it will add to more ahamkara. So in that moment, even he feels tied that he is very eligible in every way, and how people are treating even his very close friend. So he just gulps down that apamana. Apamana is insult. And he does not take the cow. He takes the child back. And whom does he prepare? Against Drupada for the war? Arjuna. He starts preparing Arjuna for the war. Meditate on this for a minute. There are other jivas also listening to the part, and a group of monkeys and a bee, everybody possible, and a bird. All of them are here. Yes. Did we understand? What happens then? Dronacharya prepares Arjuna. Whatever teaching he had, he gives best of his teaching to Arjuna. And therefore, who points out Tava Shishyena Drupada Putrena to remind and make Dronacharya very, very angry? We see Duryodhana goes and just points out to him that he is your enemy. So therefore, there was in the battlefield also, throughout the time, there was an animosity in the vengeance in the heart of Dronacharya, who was deeply hurt by his friend's behavior, who knew that no matter what, the knowledge is there, but what cannot be done? You cannot sell it. You cannot ask somebody to pay for it. And all you have is knowledge, or your life is devoted to it. So, in that moment where his child was hungry, such a treatment was received by him, and it put him in a position of question as a father and his duty. So, now what has happened? His son has been made the general of which army? The Pandava army. So he's feeling very good. Therefore, father and son both mentioned. Drushtadumno, Viratascha, Satyakischa Parajita, Drupado and Draupadeyascha, Sarvasha Prithvi. And Draupadi is also there. And sons of Drupada and sons of Dronacharya is also here. Drupada's daughter, Draupadi. We'll try to have a chart for you of a family tree in Mahabharata. Yes, so you can remember. Yes, so what do we see? What has been practiced in the past few verses? Just the conch shells, the names of the different conch shells. And their order. Who blew which conch shell very, very nicely, elaborated by Sanjay. Reflect on the verse. If any question, ask.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
If I heard it correctly, Drishtadyumna was the son of Dronacharya.
Drushtadumna,
Was the son of Dronacharya.
Drupada.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Drupada
I was
Putrena.
confused.
Drupada
Drupada, yeah.
Putrena, Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
Okay. Thank you.
Drushtadumna and Draupadi. And who was the son of Dronacharya? Yes, Renaji.
I'm not very sure, but Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama.
Yes. Ji.
So father son fighting the battle against each other. But why we saw in context with Dronacharya? Because he is being reminded of it. We will pause here. From next verse onwards, our great warrior, the hero, will be introduced. Arjuna Uvacha begins. And spiritual message and questions of Arjuna will begin after that. So, up till now, what were we seeing? Just the background of the war. And now, the hero of the war. The very, very main important character is introduced. Ji, Rena ji.
Ma'am, Bindya.
Vindya
Ma'am,
ji, yes.
Ma'am, I got confused in one thing because you said
Yes.
Drushtadumna tasted milk for the first time, and he said that so I got a little
No,
confused.
maybe I must have missed it. No, Drishtadyumna, whose son? Drupada.
Okay.
Draupadi also his daughter.
Okay.
Dronacharya, Ashwatthama. But we were talking about Dronacharya's son.
Okay. Understood. Okay.
Yes, so just if you listen also, correct.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
because we have so many names.
Yeah,
So when we
Baba,
see the family
so-
tree, it will be easy for us.
yes, it's very, very vast. I connect to it a little because I know there is a book, which is a book written uh, uh, from Draupadi's eyes, The Palace of Illusions. It's
Yes.
a different take, but that at least gives you little context of all the characters. So when you explain the Gita to us, I connected because of that. Thank you.
Yes. जी, धन्यवाद. So we see now, next verse onwards, who will be introduced? Arjun. Up till now, we are expected to go through the verses and memorize. How many verses we have finished?
18.
18 verses. 18, then 19 and 20. We will see in the next part. And Thursday, we will try to start from Arjuna Uvacha. It's a good day. Then, next Thursday. We conclude here for today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.